I absolutely love Batman, no question my favorite superhero, but for the longest time I was waiting for a really decent Batman game, and that came in the form of Arkham Asylum. There was a sequel to that which was Arkham City, so what happens next? Especially given the ending of Arkham City, well, you make a prequel, kind of, and however it is under different developers. That should be stressed. Does it still stand up with that legacy? Let's find out. If you didn't know, I'm a massive Batman fan, and just to prove my point, I'll show you some of the things that are just around me right now. See who that guy is? That is Batman. I have a lot of Batman comics. Also, I'll show you a couple of things here. Remember this game, Batman Arkham Asylum, made by Rocksteady? This was an outstanding game. I absolutely loved it. For me, the first truly decent Batman game for a very, very long time. So what else do I have here? Blu-ray of Batman Begins. Batman the movie from 1966, if I remember correctly. We got the 1989 Batman Blu-ray. I've got the Dark Knight Blu-ray here, and the list goes on. And here we have some more games. The most recent iteration, apart from the one I'm about to talk about, would be DC Superheroes, which featured heavily, of course, Batman, which came out earlier this year. And what we saw last year, which is Batman Arkham City, again by Rocksteady, and an outstanding game. Let me say this, every time a new Batman game comes out, be it on any console, be it on handheld, I get really, really excited.
You do realize it is Christmas Eve, sir.
Now, when I found out that this was not developed by Rocksteady, I got a little bit disappointed because those guys have got a really good track record with the Batman games. I mean, Arkham City and Arkham Asylum were just amazing. I've had so many hours playing that. So, how about this one? The one you can see right there, which is Batman Arkham Origins. Now, I should stress one thing. They say it's a prequel, but it's not really a prequel. There's no origin story there. There's nothing really to justify it being called a prequel, apart from the fact it takes place and predates the previous two games from Rocksteady. This time around, though, DC have gone in-house. Warner, obviously, they own Batman and DC Comics and all of that. So they've done everything in-house with their own developers, although they've got Splash to do the multiplayer element of it. How does it stand up? I'm going to say that this feels more like a DLC for Batman Arkham City, because it's not confined within an asylum like Blackgate, which we saw of Arkham Asylum. Rather, it encompasses the whole of Gotham. And because of that, I just feel it's a little bit lifeless. There's been no real development on many elements of the story, with villains rehashed, and also the mechanics of it. In fact, I would say it's even easier than what we've seen previously. Why do I say that? If you've played any of the Batman games before, you know that you can jump up onto a gargoyle, grapple up, and you can wait for some of your opponents to come down below you, and you can just, do a quick takedown. With this one, you can go up onto the gargoyle and use some sort of grapple gun to take them when they're not even underneath the gargoyle. It feels like a really, really easy win button. And when you unlock these shock grapplers that you can put on your fists, just simple punches will take down absolutely anybody. The fun of taking away that gameplay element of fighting is gone with those grapplers. So it really feels like an easy win button. And I have to say that most of the boss fights, though, are really cool, apart from one. I'm not going to say against who, but it's a simple evade, evade, evade until that person's health bar goes down. What about the storyline, though? What makes it a prequel? Well, it is in the early days of Batman. He is not friends with Commissioner Gordon. In fact, Commissioner Gordon is a captain in this game, and he has to build up a relationship with them along the way. Now, as you're progressing through the storyline, more on that later, you can actually take part in little side missions to help enhance your reputation with the police, like getting cops out of trouble, maybe they're being held hostage, etc., etc. Small things. And the story mode itself, you'll see that people are discovering who this Batman is. And the story mode is simple. Black Mask, one of the characters from the comics, he comes out and says, all right, here's $50 million US. Anybody who can kill the Batman will get the cash. So suddenly a whole bunch of assassins are roped in, the likes of Bane, who are very popular obviously after The Dark Knight Returns, or Rises rather, and obviously from the comics if you're a fan. Some more, well, let's just say low-key obscure characters like the Executioner are one of the assassins as well.
Assassins after your head. What are you going to do?
I'm going to find out who is operating this drone, make them tell me what they know. Then I'm going to find Black Mask and put an end to this.
And don't get me wrong, you'll see some of the other characters pop up that we've seen in the previous games, like the Joker. Spoiler alert, something happens to him at the end of Arkham City, so perhaps this is why they thought, okay, so how can we incorporate the Joker back into it? Let's make a prequel. He is in the game as well. Now, in terms of voice acting, I think the people that replaced Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill, the two mainstays of Batman and the Joker, do a very admirable job, especially the guy doing the Joker. Really, really spot on and a lot of fun to be had.
Get yourself to safety and call the police. They'll want to see what's going on here.
Okay, I will.
There's also a multiplayer element to the game, and it's alright, it's nothing too great. I like the premise of it, whereby you go online and there's basically different groups and you're trying to take control of the other person's territory. Now, unbeknownst to everybody who's playing, two people get randomly chosen to be Batman and Robin, and they have to go around taking everybody out. So it's quite fun, especially if you're Batman and Robin, because you get your full inventory and detective vision and all of that. I have to say, there have been a couple of tweaks which make it a little bit more fun. For example, when you put on your detective mode, and you're looking at the screen. Now when you're looking at a crime scene, you can actually use the trigger buttons to scrub forward and backwards. Supposing someone gets shot, you can scrub to the point in time just before they get shot or blown up, and you can see exactly what happened in that crime scene. That's something we hadn't seen before, and it's a lot of fun as you have to find clues, and you can simply pause it as it's scrubbing through and find, say, an access card or something to open a door. Really, really nifty. Overall, though, I feel that Rocksteady, they haven't said anything, are currently developing the next-gen Batman game. I don't think that they needed to release this for the PS3 or the Xbox 360 or the PC or the Wii U right now. I think they could have saved themselves up for the PS4 or Xbox One, etc. And I have a sneaking suspicion that's exactly what Rocksteady are doing now. This feels nothing more than a filler game between what we can expect, hopefully, next year from Rocksteady as they come out with a brand new Batman game. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm making it sound like it's a bad game. It's not. If you really enjoyed playing Asylum or City, you're probably going to love playing Origins as well. There just hasn't been a real evolution. In fact, it feels a bit easier and it feels like a DLC game, and the city just sort of lacks life. Because of that, I can't wait for the next one, and I'm going to continue playing Batman Arkham Origins simply because I love the Batman games. And don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with it. It's just a little bit too similar to what we've seen before. So I'm going to give this, say, out of 10, maybe 7.5. Another episode comes to an end, but I can promise you this, there's plenty more exciting content headed your way very, very, very soon. In fact, same time, same place next week here on Astro Wani. Once again, big shout out to San Francisco Coffee House here in Sunway Tower for hosting us. My name is Adam Carruthers, and I shall see you next week.